G'day and welcome to Aussievision. Today we'll be talking about Melodifestivalen, one of the biggest shows during the Eurovision National Final season, where we will do a preview of the final and predict who is going to win it this year. Joining me today are some members of the Aussievision team who absolutely love Melfest. We have Emma, Hugo, and Zhi. Hi guys, how are we all?
Good, thank you,
G'day.
Loreen.
Now
Hello.
Zhi, I noticed there you're wearing, is this a Sweden scarf there?
Yes, my friends gave it to me. I'm obsessed with Melfest, so it's a real honor to be able to do this video. Thank you.
Very nice, very fitting. So first up, we'll talk about some of the entries competing in the Mello final. And let's start with Loreen. Now, Loreen's competing with Tattoo. She made it direct to the final and got a huge reception from the crowd and online. Lots of people talking about it, talking about her incredible performance. Now, let's start with you, Emma. What did you think of Loreen's performance?
I thought it was amazing. I've actually had to watch it a few times just to take it all in. I think what struck me, obviously, the staging is the first thing that strikes you. It's just so different to anything that we've seen before at Melfest and probably even Eurovision. Just how she can manage to belt out that song, sort of squash between two big bricks or blocks or whatever you want to call them. That really blew me away. And the other thing that struck me on first listen was just her vocal. It was just so strong. She just managed to just, it was like she was just filling the whole arena with her voice, and you could really feel the emotion behind the song. She was really feeling it. But I found I was almost a little bit distracted by the staging that I've had to go back and listen to the actual lyrics properly and just to take it all in. But I think you'd certainly be blown away by it. If you were watching it for the first time at Eurovision, I think people would just be really impacted by it straight away. So it certainly blew me away from, made it stand out from all the others, I think.
Yeah, Hugo, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with Emma. Staging is a massive thing, of course. I feel like I'm being transformed into a different world pretty much because it's so intimate. I will draw comparisons to Euphoria, sort of like it was with Euphoria, where it's very intimate with the staging. She's like a Loreen Oreo to start off, but then even when the second platform rises above and she's standing up, you still feel like with the smoke and with the lighting, I still feel like I'm in another universe pretty much. So the staging, it really, really works. It's just so artistic. I think Euphoria was like the Uber pop song, dance song, but this has a lot of those same elements, but also it's just pure art. I think you can really feel the emotion when she sings. I agree with Emma that she seems like she fills the whole arena when she sings it. And I think this is fantastic.
Zhi, what do you think?
I totally agree with everything that says. I mean, wow, what a performance, what a comeback. I describe this song as primal perfection. It just makes you want to sort of get up and dance and sing to it. And, that primal element reflected in the tribal symbols on the stage. I think my favorite part is the bridge and the absolutely explosive final chorus. That's just amazing, amazing. I just can't describe it. It's just fantastic, euphoric. It's Loreen would say. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I find it her performance is a game changer again. Like she's here to change things. The performance is absolutely incredible. I can't stop watching it. Like I'm just, I don't know, something infectious about it. Agree with everything you guys have said. Pretty much very similar to my notes here. But yeah, I describe it as a cinematic performance. Like every scene, every little like shot just looks so pretty and beautiful, like with all the smoke. And yeah, just like you said, Hugo, I just think she's just like on some desert that's in some desert that's like maybe on a planet in another universe. Like, yeah, it's incredible. And she keeps pushing herself as a performer, and she's really delivered a very stunning package here. So yeah, lots of love for Loreen from all of us here. Now, next up, we have Marcus and Martinus with Air, who made it direct to the final. What do we think of Air, Hugo?
This is great. This is really, really good. I really like the melody. The boys, they perform it well. The vocal is good enough, but without being absolutely outstanding. Again, the staging really innovative. I think they could have gone down the route of playing with the air motif, but I think they just decided to do some slick lighting. It sort of reminds me a little bit of Atle Petterson's song from Norway this year, just with those lighting elements, different of course, but it just looks cool pretty much. Again, I don't necessarily feel like I'm in the arena because they're on that elevated platform and it's so centered around that intimacy, the lighting, the everything. The song itself, I think it's really, really catchy. Very, very good production. I feel as if it dies a little bit at the end. I feel like they could have, with that last chorus and the last bit of instrumental, could have pushed it up a little bit. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the ending bit, like the vocal at the end, but I think overall this is a really strong package and it's got a bunch of views on YouTube. But like, I like it in the studio. I like the live performance. I think this has a good chance of doing well.
Zee, what do you think?
Yeah, I absolutely love the light show. I think it's very, modern. It makes almost Sana Nielsen's light show look almost amateurish. That's how good it is. I think the song is solid. I do think they're better sort of studio versions of other songs in this final. I'm a little bit surprised that it's going on fourth, considering that it's second with the betting odds, I think, at the moment. Make what that if you will. And I think the Norwegians would charge them with treason if they represent Sweden at Eurovision. So yeah, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see, but I think it's solid studio. But yeah, I do like the light show a lot. Yeah.
You make good point there. The Norwegians will be chasing them if they do win. Emma, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Once again, the staging, the light show, just really took this song to another level from the studio version. They harmonise well, obviously being twin brothers. Yeah, what more can I say? It's a performance. I think it really, it was very dramatic in parts, but I like how they sort of, I like the bit that they did where they sort of slow down their movements to the strobe lighting to sort of, for that special effect. Like, I just really, that was one where I sat there and thought, oh, this one's got a good chance of doing very well. I think the fact that it has done well in Sweden when they are Norwegian, that's actually a really big achievement for them. Yeah, so well done to them. I really enjoyed it. I think it was a great performance.
Yeah, I think the boys deliver a very slick performance, something that we come to expect from Melfest and something they've really delivered this year. The staging in the background and all the lighting, absolutely stunning. The song is catchy and I could already picture this at Eurovision so easily. Yeah, just the overall package is so good. Next up, we're going to chat about Maria Sur with Never Give Up. Now, she got a lot of chatter after she made it direct to the final in her heat. Zee, what do you think of her performance?
Yeah, I actually think it's pretty good. I mean, I think the song itself is a bit, generic. But there's a great backstory behind her. She's a Ukrainian refugee who fled the Russian invasion, last year and settled with her mother in Sweden. And then she got a big recording contract, and now she's at Melfest. And naturally, this is what her Melfest entry is about. Never giving up, hope I can return to my homeland, those sort of lyrics. I think it's actually quite a catchy song. I've been humming it to myself. There's a good hook to it. And she has very good vocals, I think. And we have to remember she's only 18, but she performs like a pro. And I think the staging is very simple, but very impactful. So, yeah, I do think it's a bit generic, but I do think it's a very good performance overall. Yeah.
Emma, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that. I think once again, the fact that she's Ukrainian and has managed to make the final straight off the bat shows the love the Swedish people had for her and her performance. I did find it a little bit repetitive in the chorus, but having said that, she has an amazing voice. She really sold the song and the message behind it, and I think this year it's quite more poignant than it might otherwise have been with UK hosting the contest on behalf of Ukraine. It's a really timely backstory that she has, and I think obviously the Swedish people connected with her and her story, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know how well it will do on Saturday, but I think it's right up there with one of the best performances.
And Hugo, what do you think?
I like the performance more than the song. I don't dislike the song, but I just think there are better songs around it. Like with a lot of other Melfest entries, I think in its heat, I think it stood out because of her vocal, because of the first time you hear the story. But I think once you get to the final, I don't think it'll do too badly with the juries, as the others have said. She's got a good voice. She performs it well, but the televote, I'm not so sure how it will do. But I do like the performance, but it just doesn't blow my socks off.
Yeah, you have an interesting point there with the televote. We don't know how it's going to go, but I do think the song, it's a very huge song, and vocally she does really show off what she can do, and she does that. Well, I think she does that really, really well. And yeah, Z, like you said, about her backstory, she really does. You can sort of get that from her performance, and yeah, just great to hear that she's performing a song about perseverance and hope. Yeah, no, it's great to see. Now, we have a very special act this year, an Australian-born singer and dancer called Kiana, who just turned 16 on the day she competed in Heat 4, and she made it through the final via the semi-final. Yeah, we got to interview her. So if you'd like to check out interview with Kiana, just check it. It's on our YouTube channel. But yeah, she's a star in the making. Hugo, I'm going to go throw to you first because you're the first to discover in our group that she was born in Perth. What do you think of Where Did You Go?
I really like it. Firstly, great interview, Kira. I like that a lot. There was a very good chemistry and very good flow between two Aussies. Also, she's born in 2007 and she's 16, which is mind blowing. But I digress. The song itself, it's extremely Melfest song, but I still really like it. I think every year you have those Melfest songs, which is like, would this be a good song for another country? Yes. Are we overly critical because it's Sweden? Yes. So I really, really like it. I think she's the best part of the performance. Like, she's a dancer, she gives good choreography, she's got a great vocal for 16. Even though it's a dance song and a fast-paced pop song, there are still places where she gives a good belt. And she hits all the notes. I love those individual light things when they do all the choreography. I think that's really good. Is it a little bit predictable in the song structure? Yes. Do I still like it? Yes. Do I hope it does well? Yes. Yep. Do I hope she represents Australia? Maybe. But really, really impressive for 16. I mean, yeah, it's a good, very good song. And as you said, Kerry, definite star in the making.
Yeah, Z, what do you think of Kiana's bang out of a song?
Yeah, well, I absolutely agree. I mean, I love the use of the light beams. I think that's very clever staging. It's a great Swedish dance track, you know? Yeah, it's very, very catchy. I love her outfit as well, very contemporary, almost like ballet dance style outfit. And, you know, we've harped on about it. Yeah, I can't believe she's 16. I mean, imagine how good she's going to be in 5 or 10 years. And I really do think with the right song, she can win Melfest one day. I'm not sure if this is her year, as we'll discuss maybe later. And yeah, the fact that she came through, I think it was a bit unfortunate she was in the 4th heat because I felt that was the most competitive heat. So she had to sort of do a bit of a detour through the semi-final, but she made it to the final, which is most important. But yes, a very, very good entry by her.
Emma, what do you think of Kiana's performance?
Yeah, I loved it. This is like a guilty pleasure. But having said that, like, it really is. Even when I first watched the snippets of that 4th heat, straight away that song jumped out at me as one that I thought should go through, and it did go through to the semi-final. There's just something about her. She's so charismatic, and you know, like we've all said, the fact that she's 16 and just getting up there, belting that out, just blows me away. And I love the fact that she really got involved with the choreography of the number. It wasn't tokenistic, and I loved that she was going for it, and the big high kick that she just sort of came out of nowhere. But you know, for other artists, you might have thought that was a cringe moment, but not with her. It just kind of felt natural. She just was having such a great time, and like Z said, I think she will represent Sweden one day at Eurovision if she keeps going down this track. Yeah, she's just got everything that a Eurovision performer needs. She's got the look, she's got the sound, she's got everything. So I hope that we do see her on the Eurovision stage one day, and I think she'll do well.
I agree with everything you guys have said. Like I said before, star in the making, and she just owns the stage and performs it really well. And she's a dancer too. You could tell she's just enjoying herself, which is absolutely great to see. Now, let's go to the important question in our chat. Who do we think is going to win and why? Emma, who's going to win Melfest this year?
Loreen. Loreen, yeah, I don't think there's any question. She's just the runaway favourite in all the with all the bookmakers and even amongst the fandom, I don't think I've seen anybody thinking that anybody else is going to win. Yeah, she's just got everything, the performance, the song. And I think there's that little bit of extra love from people because it is Loreen as well. Yeah, I cannot see her being beaten, and I think she'll be a runaway winner.
Z, do you agree with Emma?
Yes, I do think so. I think, as Emma pointed out, the bookies are really backing her. I think they're giving her like 80% chance of winning Melfest. I mean, to be fair, Hillary Clinton had an 80% chance of winning the US elections, so we've got to put that in perspective. But I will point out she's been put into number 10 in the running order, which was Cornelia's position last year. So I think the producers are really backing that. I will note, though, I think maybe her only downfall might be with the toddler and children vote, because I'm not sure they'll quite get that sophisticated, slightly dark performance. And some of them weren't alive when she won Eurovision and Melfest, so they might not even remember her. But, I think I'm going to back Loreen all the way. Yeah.
Hugo, what do you think?
Yeah, it's Lorraine, realistically. Like, my world feels fuller after seeing it for the first time. Like, it just from the moment she was announced and then hearing the 1 minute snippet during the week and then reading the journalists who got into the arena for the rehearsals, and like the last sentence of one of those reports was like, this is a winning song. And I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm excited. So the build up, and it really delivered. Like, again, my world feels fuller. The only downside, which I forgot to say earlier, the only downside I have with this song is that sometimes her diction is not always the best. After reading the lyrics and then watching it again, when I know what she's going to say, I can hear out for it. But sometimes it's a little bit hard to understand if you're watching it for the first time. But it almost doesn't matter. This is just high art. This belongs in a museum. I don't know if thinking right ahead, I'm not sure how they get the top layer of the LED to Liverpool, but the Swedes will find a way. But yeah, it's a winner. The public know what to do. The juries, of course, will recognize the vocal talent and the power in the song. And yeah, I'm excited.
Well, no surprise. I agree with all three of you. Hands down, Loreen is winning this. I will be in absolute shock if something happens and she doesn't win. And I think a lot of us would be as well. I know the charts sometimes do reflect what's happening in Sweden, but she's currently number 1 on the Swedish singles charts. There's a lot of hype behind her. Yes, she's a previous Eurovision winner, but to me also, I think the performance is incredible enough as it on its own, and it's unmatched with what we have on offer at Melfest this year. It really is. So next, we're going to talk about any dark horses within the other entries, or even the ones we've already mentioned. Who do we think might be possibly in contention to maybe take the crown away from Loreen, or do really well? Z, I'm going to go to you first.
Well, I'm going to talk about two quickly. I think Smash Into Pieces is 6 Feet Under could do pretty well. It's almost like Finland's Blind Channel meets Norway's Joust in a Swedish national final entry. I love this rock song. I love the graphics of the swirling city behind them. I would love to see Sweden send something, rock one day, but maybe not this because of Loreen. And we have quite a few rock songs already in Eurovision, so everyone's going to get their rock kick still, so that's all good. But yes, I do think that could be in with a good shot as well. And I'm going to go a bit out there. One of my favorites, I actually genuinely like Paul Ray and Royals. I'm surprised that this song has been performing last in what I think is like the party position, because he's better known for like ballads and more subtle songs like Talking in My Sleep and The Missing Piece. But after Loreen, I think this is the most stimulating performance for me. His dances have a great energy. I love the yellow, black, and white color scheme. It's almost like I kind of think it's almost like a male version of Anna Bergendahls' Kingdom Come. Something a bit different from him. The only thing that bugs me though is that song title. I always just think of Lord's song when I see the song title, but I think potentially he could do rather well. But I think, to be honest, it's a race for second place at this rate. Yeah.
Emma, do you have any dark horses?
I would agree with Smash Into Pieces for sure, but the other one I was going to mention was Theo's, just because that song is so catchy. And I found myself listening to it quite often because it's just, and it stays in your head. So, I'll be doing something else and in comes the chorus into my head. It's got that real hook. There's something very charismatic about him. It's such a slick performance. Yeah, I don't think it's going to challenge for the win, but it's one of those, it's in the next tier down. I think it's so enjoyable that I can't see anybody not liking this. It's just, yeah, it's just so catchy. I don't know what else to say. And he clearly resonates with the Swedish people, particularly obviously the teenage girls. It's the second year that he's made the final as a 17-year-old, which is a pretty good achievement. So, yeah, I'm going to have him as my dark horse.
Hugo, who do you think are one of the dark horses?
I agree with all the ones that have been said. Smash Into Pieces has got, I think, the third most number of YouTube views, which of course is not just Swedish people, but it goes to show that it's a visual song. You need the performance. Royals, I really like the song. I don't see it doing well, unfortunately. The line I hate in the chorus: "If I were a king, I would treat you royally." That's like, come on, you can do better than that. And Tails, I definitely agree. The only other one I can see doing anything is Nordman with their Swedish song. I don't know the title. I don't speak Swedish, but for the juries, not so much. But I do think they're popular in Sweden. It has that sort of schlagery Swedish instrumenty sound. If you guys know what I'm talking about, like that sort of real anthemic Swedish language song. So I can see it doing okay with the televote. I don't think it's going to be really, really up there, but I can see the Swedish people really liking it.
Yeah, I agree with all of you. My dark horse is Smash Into Pieces. They most likely will come second. I think they're number 8 on the Swedish singles charts at the moment with their song. Will they cause an upset? No, probably not. But yeah, the song sounds very like Linkin Park to me, early 2000s. So it's great to see that getting a resurgence. It's very popular and a lot of positive comments from them that I've seen online. Another one I wanted to mention was Tone with Tone, I think I pronounced that wrong, with Rhythm of My Show. Now, I think it's one to watch out for. The song is a banger. I expect her to do really well. I think the performance is huge with a bit of a fuego factor and lots of choreo, but it is second in the running order. So that might not be good for her, but great to see another banger there in this selection. Well, these aren't all the acts that will be competing this year, but it seems like we are all in agreement that this is Loreen's year to win. But we'll have to wait and see. You can catch the Melfest final on SVT on Saturday evening in Europe or early in the morning on Sunday in Australia. Thank you very much for joining us. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you to the team for your contributions. Until next time, see ya.
Right.